Hi, so welcome to my tent project, in which this is the project I've done for my first design project. This project inspiration mainly came from my time as I like to go to outdoors. So back when I lived in the UK, I went camping once, and it was nice overall, like playing with my friends and everything. But then it came at nighttime, in which I was sleeping in my tent, and then the problem was that there was strong wind, so I did not enjoy the noise that was being whipped up by the wind, and the rain actually seeped through at night, in which waking up I found a puddle of water inside my tent, so that was not a good experience. So I looked at most tents today, and I just thought there could be like a different way to adapt it. So I was thinking of more like a windproof shape in the beginning to make the wind curve through it better and also the water flow through it better. I thought about like layering fabric onto it. It will look something like this, which is the 3D printed model. But I think the problem with this is the aerodynamics are clearly not optimal. Therefore, I look towards more roundish shapes and look towards building a frame using something lightweight such as airplane wood. But the problem with airplane wood is it also snaps, so the frame structure works, yet it's too fragile. So I continue to look forward to other examples as I was using a single spine, which is clearly too fragile, and a double spine, in which created the form that you see here, in which kind of emulates the look of a fish, in which it can kind of divert the wind elsewhere. The creation of the front and the back and flying up kind of invites the wind to blow it up. So in a way, it might just float in the wind somehow. I later also tried to quick model up as of like using wire frames to like build something as of like the form. I didn't quite get the form right, but it was interesting to see how paper could be wrapped around this form to create a 3D object, a solid form, other than say just the frame itself. The problem with this is that you can see it's just falling apart since months of built and use, so it hasn't been the most optimal solution. I actually switched over the project pretty much drastically over here because I just looked more towards the technical side. So other than making something that looks like it might work, I looked back to like the saucer, because I think this is something that would definitely work, and I think the scenery would be pretty well made, in which can just kind of glide in the forest. It'll be like one of the suspension tents, in which are tents that are up in the forest, so people would be not on the ground, and it would become a different experience. I looked to most of those that are in the market today, and they seemed like they were all open air tents, so it wasn't good for, say, long-term living. So therefore, I used vacuum forming to create all these different types of forms, in which this is the kind of succeeding model to it. I was basically used this cake mold to use the vacuum forming process, in which I vacuum formed on top of it. The design kind of here mainly just makes the entire experience a bit better because it's a more futuristic approach to it, in which the users are slept around the radius of the circle, and then at the bottom level would be okay for luggage. Yeah, so I created the final imagery, in which this is the saucer, along with everything that works at a 1:6:4 scale. At the back, you can see some of the work in progress. That's the whole thing, but then the entire design